James here. Welcome to another week of this amazing free online training here in our Facebook community, all about how you can promote, how you can fill, how you can maximize the huge profit opportunity that exists for you from running your own live events. So the topic for today is how you can get other people who have already got your ideal client, the people that would most benefit from coming to your events, how you can get other people to promote, put the message out there about your live seminars, workshops, conferences for free. In other words, how do you get joint ventures with the people of influence in your field? Now, this is a subject I've got vast experience with. In fact, we've got kicking on for 40,000 people on our database as I sit here today, and I would guess at least 90%, if not a few more, of that database has been built without spending any money on advertising whatsoever. In fact, most of that database was created through exactly what we're talking about today, which is joint ventures. So here's why I think joint ventures are the best way for you to get more bums on seats and get more success from your events. So the first reason is because it's free. So there isn't any upfront investment, which means it's accessible to all. So even if you haven't got a big marketing budget, a big chunk of money, a big big load of capital from an investor or something like that to spend on marketing for your event, you can still utilize joint ventures to get the message out there and spread the word about your event. This is exactly how I got my first 8 people to come to the Copywriting Academy in August 2009. That was my first ever live event. How I got those 8 people, 1 or 2 of them were people I already knew, but the majority of them were people that I managed to get my message in front of thanks to joint ventures with other people in the industry who had influence, who had databases, who had lists. So what you want to think to yourself is, who do I know who's already got my ideal client, my ideal customer on their customer list, on their database, and how can I make it a win-win? How can I make it valuable for them as well as valuable for me? Because the mistake I see a lot of people make with joint ventures is that they'll send an email to me or somebody else who's got influence and got a database, and the email will literally just say, "Hey Nick, I've got this amazing event coming up. Please email your database for me and tell them all about it, and I'll give you 50-50 on the ticket sales." And I'm like, I can see why that's a really good deal for you, but I'm struggling to see how this is a great deal for me, because I can email my own database, promoting my own event, and get to keep 100% of the sales. So unless there's something a bit more in it for me, I don't really see the point. So really the thinking has always got to be, how can you make your joint venture offering, how can you make it stand out? How can you make it different? How can you serve them first? What can you do to make it a true win-win? And just, splitting the sales or paying commission out doesn't really cut it. The best joint ventures that I've created over the last 10 years have always been built upon relationships and have been really successful long term. So a couple of the most, probably the 2 most successful joint ventures that I've done over the years. First one was with Andy Harrington, who of course was my mentor and has taught me a lot. And so, he runs public speaking training. So how do you get really good at delivering on stage in front of an audience? And I run, how do you get bums on seats? How do you get people in the audience in the first place? So there's a perfect synergy. So you want to be thinking to yourself, who do you know that's got a complementary product or service or offering to you? And how can you make it a win-win? So the way that Andy and I work together, it's very rare that much money changes hands in the huge scheme of things, bits and bobs here and there. But the way that Andy and I work together is that he gets to speak on my stage, teaching public speaking. I get to speak on his stage, teaching the marketing of running events. And we support one another a lot. I recommend people to go and take his training because I think it's brilliant. He recommends people to come and take mine. So we've got a really good long-standing joint venture relationship. Same thing, similar thing with Ryan Pinnock. So many of you all know Ryan. Shout out to Ryan Pinnock. Hopefully he watches this video at some point. Ryan is, I think, like one of the best, if not the best, personal development speaker in the UK. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of people out there teaching NLP and coaching and stuff like that, but Ryan's created a philosophy that really is unique, different, and his personality is infectious, he's hilarious on stage, and our audience love him. So consequently, whenever we run an event, an Expert Empires event, or any other type of event for that matter, and we have the need for someone to come and talk about mindset and personal development, we always get Ryan there. And the way that the joint venture works so well is our audience love him. We have a really good commercial arrangement whereby, when he gets business as a result of our events, he pays us, so it's a good deal. And he'll also promote our events out to his database on a joint venture basis, so he can actually fill the room with us and for us as well. So you've just got to look at, with an open mind, how can you make, first of all, who do you know? And I guarantee there's people you already know. Listen, we'd all love to get a joint venture with a Tony Robbins or a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Grant Cardone or whoever it is that you love to surround yourself with. But the fact is, you probably already know people right now that have got databases, client bases of your ideal customer, the people that would love to come to your events. And all you got to do is find a way to do JV. It might be that they speak on your stage. It might be that you do a webinar with them. I don't know what it is. There's loads of different ways. And the one thing I always say when I talk about joint ventures is there's no rules. So don't think that, it has to be structured in this way and we have to do a split on sales. There's no rules. The bottom line is you've got to make it a win-win. That's it. You've got to find a way to make it a win-win. And what I'll tell you is when you get a joint venture that works, they're hugely effective for a number of reasons. One, of course, as I already said, there's no upfront investment necessarily from you. But two, let's say for argument's sake, you're on Ryan Pinnock or Andy Harrington's database. Maybe you've been to their events, you really like Ryan or Andy, you aspire to be like them, you trust them, and they send a marketing piece out, an email or a text message or something to promote, or a post on Facebook promoting my stuff, Nick James's free training in Facebook group or whatever. Because you know, like and trust Andy or Ryan, their endorsement carries much more weight than if it was just a cold advert, because you've already got that relationship built, and so their endorsement, you trust it. So they're far more effective. Joint ventures are a far more effective way of generating quality leads and sales than cold advertising. And the other thing is, of course, it raises your profile, because if you know, like and trust Andy or Ryan, and they say, when it comes to getting bums on seats, when it comes to running events, Nick James is the guy you need to see, you need to speak to, you need to go and check out. Well, guess what? Because of that endorsement, my profile, even if you didn't know who I was before, my profile is raised significantly just by association, just because they're saying that I'm the best in the business. So there's a load of key benefits around getting joint ventures, and I really believe that when you find a few key joint ventures that are gonna that have got the right customer base, that have got access to the right kind of people, that it will completely revolutionise and transform your business. It means you'll grow your database rapidly. It means you'll get high quality people to know about your events. And of course, when high quality people know, they tend to buy tickets. And when they come, they tend to invest in your additional programs. So joint ventures are, in my mind, the best way of marketing and putting your events out there. Question of the day is, how can you make your joint venture approach offering completely different? I must get an email a day, sometimes 5 to 10 a week, from people that email into my office and say, hey Nick, I've got this event happening, or I've got this product or whatever, email it out to your list for me, and I'll give you 50-50 on the sales. And I get it all the time. So the way to get my attention is to do something different. The way to get my attention is to find an angle that no one else has found, to make it stand out, to give me something no one else has given me, to find a way to, rather than ask me to email my database, what else could you ask me to do to endorse your event or your program or your product? So think about, question of the day, put your answers below in the comments, is how are you going to make your joint venture proposal different, unique? How are you going to make it stand out? Answer that question. I will see you tomorrow for the next module in this 30-day training series, all about how to promote, how to fill, how to maximize profit from the huge opportunity that is hosting your own events. Take care, and I'll see you then.